Hi, it's naturopathic Dr. Anka Martelov, founder of Life Extension Coaching and Smarta Method from dranka.com, where we teach you how to conquer cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke, the four killers as I call them. So how do you speed up your recovery in case you've been diagnosed with one of these diseases? Or if you don't have these diseases but you're conscientious about them, how do you eliminate the risk of getting them ever? These are the questions that I've given a lot of thought to because, as many of you know, as a breast cancer and stroke survivor, as well as a naturopathic doctor for more than 16 years, I know how to stimulate the body's inner healing ability, which we all have within us. My quest started with these questions. How do some people regain their healthy balance even when faced with great health adversities like I mentioned before? And others not so good. How do some people boost their healing ability to foster recovery to an even healthier state than before? And others don't do so well. The answers led me to discover the Smarta method, which I like to share with you in this video series.
In this video series today, I'm going to teach you how to speed up your recovery if you're already diagnosed with any of these four killer diseases, or if you're just at risk, how to eliminate these risks so you go out there back to the life that's waiting for you. Especially during the hard times, knowledge is the best medicine, and having someone who knows what they're doing, who you can count on to empower you to deal with crisis, to make decisions confidently, is paramount to getting healthier. That's why I encourage all my patients to have an informal healthcare team made up of health professionals who know you and are familiar with your conditions, your case, your health history, and lifestyle. For example, your family doctor could be part of this team, your oncologist if you're concerned with cancer, your neurologist in case of stroke, etc., your naturopath, massage therapist, chiropractor, your nutritionist or dietitian, whoever you consult with. And ideally, these practitioners should also communicate amongst themselves when you need them to on your behalf in order to find the best treatment path for you. I know how frustrating it is not to be heard by doctors and nurses, how it is to feel confused by the diagnosis you've been just given because you didn't have enough information to understand the disease, how it feels like when nobody tells you what's wrong, and how to deal with it and all the components of illness, from nutrition to physical aspect to the psychological, mental, when there's no one to guide you through all these things that you go through. I know how it feels to be confused by diagnosis, not having enough information to understand the disease and make smart decisions, especially if you're looking for solutions other than what the medical system offers. I know because when I first heard my doctor's cancer diagnosis, I was a mess. I was in a daze for weeks. I did a lot of crying and became very emotional. And especially if you're like some of my patients whose doctors try to play God, giving them a limited amount of time to live, like 3 months to live or 6 months to live. I have patients like that, which are, by the way, very alive and kicking today, 15, 16 years later after such a diagnosis was given by their doctors. I'm not making any claims here on your behalf. Obviously, I don't know you or your condition or your case, but in my case, I know that when my doctor advised me to cut out both of my breasts at 25, I sought another doctor and other solutions. And when my neurologist at St. Mike's Hospital told my parents that I was going to be either be dead, a fruit or a vegetable if I ever come out of the coma, they sought other solutions and other doctors. Well, here I am now, 16 more and plus years after my breast cancer diagnosis and 12 years after the stroke, enjoying my family and friends and living an even more balanced life than before, thanks to naturopathy. And during this time, I've been able to help hundreds, if not thousands of others through these scary diagnoses. Now, reflecting back on my journey and those of my patients, how is it that some people never get these scary diagnoses, or if they do, they recover faster than others? this has been a quest of mine for the last decade, and that's how I discovered the SMARTA method. Because we all have we all know that the body has an innate ability to heal itself, right? If so, how do you stimulate it in times of crisis? How do you unleash this inner ability to heal in times of crisis? So here's what I found. In order to stimulate your body's inner healing ability, you need to look at the core cause of the problem, not only the symptoms, which are actually a result of what's going on in the body, often masking the underlying problem. So if you just choose to treat the symptoms and ignore the cause, ignore looking for the cause, you're only finding a band-aid solution. And often when you treat something, let's say on the left side of your body, then there's 3-4 other things coming out on the right side of the body, just to be visual about it. Number 2, you need to treat with natural substances which can be easily metabolized by the human body. The reason we're looking at the natural substances versus the man-made drugs is this. Drugs have only been around, have been manufactured by humans in the last 150 years, right? The natural substances and remedies that we use have been around since the beginning of time, with the human living together with the human species and sharing this planet. Therefore, we as a species have been able to develop metabolic pathways to deal with natural substances. So it's easier for us to metabolize them than to metabolize the man-made, synthetic-made drugs that we came up with in the last century. Number 3, you need to be strategic about healing and proceed at your body's speed according to its immediate needs. And I will tell you a little bit more about this in a second. And this is why it's important to seek a professional's opinion, because you can do a lot of investigation on your own. You can read a lot of books and a lot of magazines, but you can't just take all that advice and throw it to your body, because your body is not going to respond properly. Number 4, you need to eliminate all obstacles to cure. These can be toxins, dental amalgams, old, non-serving beliefs, negative patterns of thinking, because just in your life, if you're walking on a road and if you want to get from point A to point B and there's a big wall in the middle, it is futile for you to try to go through the wall rather than eliminating the wall or going around it. In this case, we have to eliminate the wall. So we have to eliminate all obstacles to cure. And number 5, you need to determine your wellness blueprint, including knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, your constitution and your miasm and things like that. And number 6, you need to reset your wellness thermostat so you can always get back to health. No matter how many adversities you are going to encounter throughout your life.
1 to 4 are usually done in my office using the body scan, and then 4 to 6 are usually done through life extension coaching using the SMARTA method. Life extension coaching is done through the phone from the convenience of your home. But right now I'd like to tell you a little bit more about number 3, because you have to listen to the body and proceed at its own needs. So how do you do that? We do that by using the body scan. The body scan is a biofeedback energetic device that I use, which allows me to look at your body like an onion with different layers. So with the body scan, we're going to proceed at your body's priority, one priority at a time, until we get to this core level, which is you at your optimal level. Now remember, when you go to a doctor, you give the doctor subjective information, your opinion about your condition. So the doctor doesn't have any other way other than the body scan to look at your to get objective information from you. What does the body say about your condition? So that's what the body scan does. Okay, so if you really want to speed up recovery, or eliminate the risk of all these 4 killers, you need both of these components, which ultimately work on strengthening your mind-body connection. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and in the next video I'll tell you more about the SMARTA method. In the meantime, I'd like you to leave all your comments, questions, and suggestions below, in the boxes below. I will personally reply to all of them. Live fully and make a difference.